Alright, so what's up guys? We actually have a bunch of stuff to talk about today. We have two topics here regarding DLC 4 for Black Ops 3 Zombies, and specifically Wonder Weapons. So that's going to be very interesting. One, we're going to be looking at the leaked code that we saw yesterday, because it actually hints at some different Wonder Weapons, and I forgot to mention that in yesterday's video, so we're going to talk about this within this video. Maybe the Apothicon servant upgrade coming back, maybe the staffs coming back as well, and how those two may conflict. So those are the main two topics with the Wonder Weapons, and we're also going to be looking at a new Snapchat teaser regarding RICHTOFEN being there as well. So that's going to be pretty interesting. We're going to be looking at that and really see what is that, what could that be, and people are talking about on Reddit, so I just want to sort of debunk anything and really just talk about what this Snapchat teaser could be. And yeah, those are basically the topics here. So yesterday's video, the leaked information for DLC 4, our like goal was 300 likes. We smashed it with 400 likes, man, and the video is still grinding. It's still gonna gain likes, so thank you guys so much for that. That is a huge, insane like goal. 400 likes, man. Honestly unreal. So if we can go for 300 likes again, that would be just unreal. Thank you guys for that, and yeah, let's get started. Let's continue with the video. So I'm gonna start here again with the Snapchat teaser. Make sure you guys the teaser on screen just as I'm talking, because there's nothing much really you need to know. Obviously, it's literally just a 3-second pan of RICHTOFEN moving through with the regular Mark III, and a bunch of people were talking on Reddit. They were just like, oh wait, is this DLC 4? What's going on? I saw some stuff, and obviously people are confirming, and it looks like it, and it just makes sense that it is just a teaser for DLC 3 Garage Trophy for Black Ops 3 Zombies on the Xbox One and PC, because that's going to be coming out very soon. The trailer's going to be coming out very soon, so obviously it makes sense. You see RICHTOFEN has the Mark III in his hand. It's obviously teasing Garage Trophy, nothing really else with that. So I just want to add that in there. That is obviously the case. We're going to be seeing probably a new trailer, the music trailer for Garage Trophy, coming very soon, and those always actually have some pretty interesting storyline hints within those trailers, so keep an eye out for that. Those are going to be very interesting. But that's that. Let's get to the main topic of the video, the DLC 4 Wonder Weapons. So we're going to be looking at the code here, and we're going to be looking at, well, obviously, I'm going to leave all the links to this stuff in the description. I'm not going to actually show you guys the code because it's obviously copyright. Like I've been saying, everyone knows it's copyright. If I put the code in the video, I would just be flat out copyright strike. So that's not a good thing, obviously. But if you want to check it out, the link is in the description. And again, it's from the DLC 4 memory dump that we saw yesterday. And the guy went further through the code, and he basically found this. I'm going to read you guys the two specific lines of code. They're pretty similar. One just, let me explain it to you guys right now. So it says AI underscore ZM underscore DLC 4 underscore Margot underscore React underscore ID gun. That's obviously the main key there, because if you don't remember the ID gun and the ID gun underscore Chew and the upgraded ID gun, those are the codes we were looking at back when the Shadows of Evil Wonder Weapon was supposed to be upgradable back in December, January. So that's when we were looking at, and it's the same sort of code, but instead it has DLC 4 Margot React ID gun instead now, which is very interesting, which we never even thought would happen. And we're talking about, yes, you know, DLC 4 Wonder Weapons. It could be the Margot returning. Maybe we'll upgrade the Shadows of Evil Wonder Weapon within DLC 4. You never know. And again, the next code here is just the same thing. AI ZM DLC 4 Margot React ID gun, and then pack at the end of it. I don't know what pack means. I guess pack's just another variation of the code within the game for that Wonder Weapon. But again, we've made the connection with yesterday's video between Margwas and DLC 4 because of that Great War connection. Going into Revelations, going to the Great War with the Apothicon and the Keeper battle, you would evidently see Margwas there, and since you're having that whole Shadows of Evil lore, all of that stuff actually occurring, basically the beginning of the Keeper and the Apothicon war and all of that insane stuff actually spawning right there, it would make sense to also see the Shadows of Evil Wonder Weapon, the Apothicon Servant, within that actual map. It just makes sense. Everything comes together, and everyone has been agreeing on Reddit for the most part that there's so many hints now that we would actually see this Shadows of Evil Wonder Weapon for DLC 4 for Revelations, just based on the location, based on the leaked information that, again, sort of gives us this understanding that, yes, maybe we're actually going to the beginning. If that's another thing, Genesis, it had Genesis within the code. Obviously, Genesis is like the beginning, the formation of something. You have the formation of the Apothicons and the Keepers, the formation of the Wonder Weapon. There's so many hints now actually linking the Shadows of Evil lore, the Wonder Weapons, the Margwas, everything that occurs there, the Keepers, into DLC 4 for Revelations. I think that's actually very cool, very interesting to see how they actually use that stuff, and it makes sense. You start off with Shadows of Evil, you end off with some sort of base around Shadows of Evil, so I think it's pretty cool. But again, that's just the Apothicon server side of things. if you think back, and I'm going to go through a Reddit post as well, I'm going to read this because it sort of makes sense as well. I'm going to try to relate this back to maybe why we won't see this, maybe how we'll see this, the origin staffs. So if you didn't see a Jason Blundell sort of interview, I'm pretty sure it was Mr. Dow JD, he did an interview with Jason Blundell, and they basically talked about, you know, just random stuff, and Jason, I guess Dow was like, oh yeah, are we going to see the staffs? And Jason was like, yeah, we will. And it's like, wait a second, whoa. He didn't say specifically within Revelations, he didn't say specifically within anything else, he just said, yeah, we'll see the staffs. And obviously, at the time of recording, it was after DLC 3, so at that point, you know, it's only possible for DLC 4 or an Origins remake. I don't know, so I'm going to read this for you guys here, and then we're going to relate this back to if we do see the Origin staffs within DLC 4, how that will sort of counteract with the Apothicon servant, and whether or not we'll see that, and the chances of seeing one over another. So, I don't know, let's just get into this here. This is basically what I said. It seemed a bit odd that Jason Blundell would spoil the power main wonder weapon for his last map of Black Ops 3. And he's normally incredibly tight-lipped about that sort of thing regarding any future maps and any huge major asset of those maps with those things. But I think he might have said that to throw us off, knowing that a remake is in the works and that no one would see it coming in light of everyone assuming that the staffs are now in Revelations. I hate to continue this trend of remake speculation, but it was too interesting a thought for me to ignore. So, this is very, very interesting, and again, everyone's been saying like, oh, what if there's an Origins remake, and a lot of the bigger YouTubers laugh at and stuff, and I laugh at it too as well, honestly, because like an Origins remake really, like that's what the next thing is, but think about it. This is the final wonder weapon for Black Ops 3 DLC 4. You think Jason Blundell is just gonna flat out say, oh yes, this is the wonder weapon for DLC 4? There's no way he would do that. Jason Blundell would not. You guys all know Jason Blundell. He would not do that. Give away just the main wonder weapon for DLC 4? No, it's not happening, man. It's not happening. So whether or not the Origins remake sort of theory is correct or not, again, you never know. It's a theory for a reason. It's based off of Jason Blundell. You know, Jason Blundell said the staffs are coming, and since we know he wouldn't reveal the final last DLC 4 map wonder weapon, it would have to be for something else, and maybe Origins remake would be possible, because like I said here, or like he said in the Reddit post, no one would expect a freaking Origins remake. No one would at all, really. Like, we talk about it, we hope for it to happen, but no one expects it at all. So, is that what he's trying to do? If not, how are we going to see the staffs? Nothing about this now. We just talked about the wonder weapon from Shadows of Evil, the Apothicon servant, potentially being within DLC 4. So, what wonder weapon are we going to see? And are we going to see a new wonder weapon? Because the two wonder weapons we've been talking about now within DLC 4 are wonder weapons that we have already seen. The staffs we've seen within Black Ops 2, and the Apothicon servant we saw within Shadows of Evil and Black Ops 3, the first DLC map. So, what is the deal here? You know, what are we doing? It doesn't really make sense. Again, both of these weapons aren't even the new weapon, the new wonder weapon at least, for Black Ops 3 DLC 4. Like I said, I still think there's going to be an actual DLC 4 wonder weapon. I think all of this stuff is going to be sort of interesting. I'm not so sure, honestly. I mean, I think the staffs, if there are going to be in Revelations, they're not going to be what we think they are. I think they're maybe going to be used as like tools to like build something for the Easter egg. I think it would be possible to actually find these staffs around Revelations and build them and just use them for a higher power or something. Or maybe we'd have to find and build the Apothicon servant and upgrade it. And the only thing you can do with the upgraded Apothicon servant is actually kill the final boss or the final keeper in Apothicon or the final sort of premise battle, whatever we're doing within Revelations. The upgraded Apothicon servant can only be used to kill the final boss battle, basically. That would be that, and that makes sense, honestly. It doesn't really make sense for the Origin staffs, if they're the original staffs from the premise battle, or if they're from, you know, the Origin staffs from just Black Ops 2, whatever they are, it doesn't make sense that those and also the Shadows of Evil Apothicon servant will be like the main wonder weapons. Like, you go into the map and you're just like, oh yeah, I'm gonna get the Apothicon servant, I'm gonna get the staffs. It's not gonna happen, man. DLC 4 will see like a main new crazy never before seen wonder weapon like we've seen with all of these maps. And then also on the side, we'll see like the return of the staffs and the return of the Shadows of Evil wonder weapon, and maybe the return of like other wonder weapons as well, but they're not going to be actually used as wonder weapons. They're going to be used as parts for the Easter egg, or just random things that you use to build stuff, maybe as like tools, like a shield. I don't know, man. I just don't see it being like an actual wonder weapon and having all these wonder weapons that we've already seen within DLC 4 on top of even a new wonder weapon as well. I don't know, it just doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense for Jason Blundell to hint at that for DLC 4. It doesn't make sense for any of this to be happening. But again, the Apothicon Servant one was actually in the code, so that's another thing you have to think about. This one's actually within the code. The staves, Jason Blundell said, but that could be a whole cryptic thing, but the Apothicon Servant, you can't hide. It's in the code, it's in the game, so obviously they have plans for it to be within DLC 4. But again, how is it going to be in DLC 4? Is it going to be a usable wonder weapon? Is it only going to be used for the Easter egg? I don't know, man. I just have no clue. So let me know what you guys think about this. Hope you guys did enjoy. There's really a lot of finalizing to do with this whole Wonder Weapon talk with DLC 4. Obviously, I'll probably have a couple other videos talking about new information that comes out regarding Wonder Weapons, sort of finalizing like what I actually think will happen with the Wonder Weapons, because there's just so many possibilities for this last map. It's just hard to really pinpoint what is actually going to happen. Origin staves, Apothicon Servant, a new DLC 4 Wonder Weapon, the location may change and alter everything. Like, you never know, man. You really never know. So, let me know which Wonder Weapon you think is going to be in DLC 4, maybe what Wonder Weapon you want to be within DLC 4, or what Wonder Weapon you want to return, I guess, because we've seen these Wonder Weapons before. And, yeah, that's going to be it, and I will see you guys later. Again, our like goal, 300 likes. If you're watching at the end of this video, thank you guys so much for watching, and, yeah, goodbye.